My name's Jamie Lee, and today I'll be doing a review of the new Wonka movie out in cinemas. I want to give a big thank you to Universal Pictures on behalf of Warner Brothers. Thank you for inviting me to the early premiere of this flick. I thought this movie was an absolute treat. It stars Timothée Chalamet as Willy Wonka, who heads to the big city to fulfill his dreams of being this inventor, this chocolatier, and sharing his mother's invention of chocolate with the world. But the city already have a chocolate cartel in town, and that consists of Slugworth, played by Paterson Joseph, Prodnose, played by Matt Lucas, and Fickelgruber, played by Mathew Baynton, who use their abundance of watered down chocolate in order to bribe the police chief of the town, Keegan-Michael, to get their own way by keeping their business always afloat and to continue to make their fortune by selling their watered down chocolate to the people of the town, to the poor people in the town. Wonka quickly learns the struggles of business, the threats of enemies, and experiences poverty, which lands him on the doorstep of Mrs. Scrubbit, played by Olivia Colman, who imprisons these poor people within the town who can't afford a place to live. She takes them in order for them to sign a contract and to work for her for the rest of their lives. It's there that Wonka makes new friends with an orphan named Noodle, played by Calah, and other characters who are imprisoned there and also forced to work to make the hotel run. It's there that Wonka not only invents magical chocolate, but also invents ideas on ways to help his friends escape this hotel. The best thing about this movie, in my opinion, is that this movie stands on its own 2 feet. We already know the story of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We already have an understanding of Willy Wonka. This movie might use the song Pure Imagination twice, but it gives us new imagination. All right, that was pretty lame. But it really does. It's a new take. It's telling its own story. It might be a prequel to the movies that we know, but it's definitely different to the Wonka that we know as well. This take is very different. It's very heartfelt backstory, I guess you could say, of this magician, this inventor, and this chocolate maker that we already know. This movie gives us its own take. It tells us its own story of the origins of Willy Wonka. Wonka is charming, he's lovable, he's kind-hearted, he's aspiring with his dreams. He comes off as quirky and different without it being weird, awkward, and uncomfortable sometimes. And I think Timothée Chalamet was a perfect choice for that. I thought that he played the role really, really well. He meets new characters along the way, and they all are extremely likable as well. They all have their own little arcs and their own unique contributions onto how to escape the hotel or prison, whatever you want to call it, and ways in which they help Willy Wonka to achieve his dreams. As expected, you also have the inclusion of the Oompa Loompas in this movie, or Oompa Loompa, should I say, played by Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant always plays this cheeky, sarcastic, really likable guy. This movie is no different. He plays the cheeky, sarcastic, really likable, small orange man with green hair, who does a fantastic job at accompanying Willy Wonka. The movie stars some extremely talented actors. Every single one of them nailed their part. Even the villains had really funny lines. They were villains that you loved to hate, and I really enjoyed every single person's performance in this movie. Wonka is a movie that you can watch with kids, but it's not necessarily directed for kids or directed at kids. Adults and kids can both enjoy this movie. It's not really targeted at either of them, but I found myself really enjoying the humor in this movie. Like, I laughed a lot, and at parts that were kind of silly. Like, there was a scene there and they were like humming giraffe, giraffe. Like, that was the music for a good 30 seconds, just people humming to giraffe. I thought it was great. It was so funny. And the lyrics in the song correlated with what was happening in the scenes, and it was funny. Like, they were sort of taking the piss out of, or like mocking what was happening in the scene through song or through lyrics, and I thought it was really, really clever. For me personally, the jokes landed, the emotion hit when it was supposed to hit. It was a really good balance of fun and quirky whilst also being heartfelt and wholesome. It was visually beautiful to watch as well. You had a really good contrast between the colors. So when you were in the town, or when they were trying to symbolize poverty, you had the neutral colors, the browns, the creams, the blacks, things like this. And then when you got to talking about or visually seeing Wonka's dreams, or what he wanted the chocolates to, actually every chocolate had color in it. You know, the colors just popped, the balloons were always colorful, and his shop was always lit up and so bright and just vibrant. So you had the good contrast of colors there, which was good to differentiate between the two, and also visually good to look at as well. So you're not just looking at these dark and neutral tones throughout the entire movie. On the first note of the movie, I got the glares from my husband. You know, when you can feel somebody's eyes burning into you, that's what I was feeling. He was just looking over at me like, really? Music already? That's the feeling that I got. Yes, it's a musical. Yes, there's lots of singing. Yes, there's a bit of dancing, but it's all fun. Honestly, I told you before that I laughed throughout almost every, well, not every song because some of them were quite sad, but a lot of the songs I was laughing in because the lyrics were funny. The lyrics related to what was happening in the scene, and they made me chuckle. They really did make me laugh. And there were some songs that were really wholesome, and you know, you felt like sad and like really emotional and caring towards these characters. If I were nitpicking and had to critique the movie on something, it would be to do with the long runtime. It does run for 2 hours, and in that second act there, I feel like a few of the scenes could have been cut. A few acts there to do with the giraffe specifically, a couple of musical acts could have been taken out, which still would have made the movie progress as it should have and as it did. But it would have made it a little bit tighter if they had have cut some things there. But again, that's just me nitpicking in order to make the movie not as long as it was. In saying that, it was really delightful. I had a really fun time watching it, and I would definitely watch it again. I'd actually really like to watch this one with my daughter because the characters in this are really, really lovable. Even the villains, to be honest with you, they're really likable. And the message of the movie is really full of hope. It's about striving to be kind and helping your friends and having a dream and always believing in yourself and believing in that dream. And I think that's a really encouraging and beautiful message. This movie was a treat, and I really recommend you going and watching this one. So let me know in the comment section if you're going to go watch this one at the cinemas, if you're going to wait till it hits streaming, or if you're not going to watch it at all. Let me know in the comment section. And if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel, and then head on over to my gaming channel and give me a subscribe over there. And the links to my socials are in the description box, so please head there and give me a follow on all of my socials as well. And I will see you in the next video. Okay, sweet as, have a good day. Bye.